It's a travel agent in Worcester, PA. So the first question I have to is if you could explain basically what you do in your job and how it works.
I can do that. That's an easy one. So basically, I have to market myself out to the public and let them know about deals and trips that are being offered. And then when people contact me, I help them find the right trip for them. Sometimes it's the deals that I put out there. Sometimes it's totally random deals. Like I may even advertise
what you do in your job and how it works.
I can do that. That's an easy one. So basically, I have to market myself out to the public and let them know about deals and trips that are being offered. And then when people contact me, I help them find the right trip for them. Sometimes it's the deals that I put out there. Sometimes it's totally random deals. Like I may even advertise a trip to Mexico and they come back and they want to go to Paris instead. So I do all the advertising for myself, and then I do all the arranging of the vacations for the people when they contact me.
Is there any kind of specific classes or training that you had to get the job?
I did. I had a really intense 2-month training program where I had to go to all the suppliers that I used, like Disney, Universal. There's a couple of companies that I use for Europe. There's a couple of companies that I use for like Caribbean beach vacations. And each one of them had their own specific training program that I had to go through. And they, most of them were videos online that I could just watch at my own time, but they took almost all day long every day for 2 months that I had to go through them.
When after the training was like, how did you first start with actually trying to get people?
So I do belong with another company. So I have a parent company over me called Mickey's Dream Vacations, and they are the ones that actually told me where to go for the training and everything. And they also sent me leads on, hey, you might want to, tell people this deal, or you might want to talk to people about what's going on in Disney. And so I post a lot of that stuff on Facebook. I have a business page there, and I post into like mom groups, and parent groups in the area so that I can spread the word that I'm an actual travel agent now. And they, my company we put out newsletters every month so that, I build up a client base, and they just keep pushing me to keep growing my business. So they're really the ones that directed how to grow my business.
What do you think is your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is definitely talking about Disney. I love Disney World, and that is the reason why I became a travel agent. Even though I sell travel all over the world now, I really like to just sell Disney World trips because I think they're the most exciting and the most fun. And then I get to go and visit Disney sometimes, and that's even better.
Is there any job that you wanted to get before deciding to become a travel agent?
Not at this time. So I just started this job 2 years ago. And before that, I was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years. So for those 15 years, I didn't want any other jobs. And then when I was my kids are older, they're both in high school now. So I was looking for something else to start entertaining me more. And that's all I wanted to do was be the Disney travel agent. Before I even had kids, I was actually a teacher for first grade. And that's what I always wanted to do was be a teacher, but it doesn't fit my lifestyle right now.
How long is like a normal work day for you, or is it like an on and off kind of thing?
It's more an on and off kind of thing, but really I start work. I'll look at my email as soon as I get up and get moving, like at like 7:30 a.m. And if there's stuff, if I'm getting emails from clients or from people that want, quotes on trips, then I'll get up and start moving right then, and I will work until there's nothing else to do, really. Um, I don't have another job, so really throughout the day, as much as I can do for my marketing and my advertising, I try to do that before 5 p.m. so that after 5 p.m. I can kind of have some family time. But I will work at night too. If an email comes in at 6, 7 o'clock at night and they say, okay, I'm ready to book a trip, then I'm usually going to tell my family, okay, I'm going to go and book a trip real quick. I'll see you in a half hour or so. And I work on weekends too. So really, when you're running your own business, it's kind of like you have to work whenever the clients are there. So whenever people are emailing me, I'm usually going to work. Unless, my family actually has something set where we're doing something together or I have an appointment or something like that. If it's just we're all hanging out at the house and playing video games or watching movies or whatever, then I'm usually going to be on my computer while we're doing all that.
Since the pandemic, you said how it's been difficult since the travel shut down. Was there anything you could do during the shutdown, like work related?
Yeah, I did work all through the shutdown. I didn't actually get paid because we don't get paid until our clients travel. But there was still work to be done because my clients were getting their trips canceled. So I had to make sure that they were getting refunds or credits for all the money that they paid. Some clients weren't getting canceled by the supplier, but they didn't feel comfortable traveling. So they wanted their trip canceled or moved. So it was a lot of back and forth between me and the suppliers and the clients, making sure that everybody was happy and still getting their money's worth and making sure that they could travel at another time if they wanted to. So I worked the whole time, and really the main thing that I was doing most of the time was just putting my name out there so that when people were ready to travel again, they knew that I was still informed on everything that was happening. So I knew when Disney World was opening, I knew when Universal was opening, I knew when Mexico was opening, so that my clients could all know, oh, she's on the ball, she knows all these regulations and things that are changing, and I'm ready to book now, so I'll come back to her now. So it was really keeping in front of my clients every day as much as I could.
Were there people who were still trying to like book things during the shutdown that you had to deal with?
There were some. There were definitely a lot of people asking questions about where they could book and how they could book or when they could book. There weren't actually a lot of people handing over the money to book, but there was a lot of potential, people out there who wanted to travel. We're really just starting now in October to really feel like people are coming back to traveling and actually booking trips and, putting their money out there to say, okay, I am going to travel. Whereas before they were just like, I kind of want to go, but I don't know. I'm kind of nervous and scared. Now they're actually making the commitment, like, okay, I see this, that I can actually go soon, so let's book the trip.
With the thing with people are starting to book trips again, how different is it from before the pandemic? Like, is it like how much less people?
So now compared to last October, I actually have a higher sales rate right now than I did last October, because there are so many people ready to book again. So it's starting to pick back up finally. My September and August and July sales, though, were way down compared to last year, like $50,000 lower. which is significant in where I am at right now in my sales. So you can slowly see it coming back, but it was, instead of dealing with, right now I'm dealing with 40 people at the same time with whether they're actually looking to book or whether they are booked or whether they're going to book. I have about 40 to 50 people that I'm dealing with now. Whereas back in July and June, it was maybe 10. So it was a lot less.
Do you think that when more things start opening again, that 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 there's going to be a bunch of people like trying to book like more?
I sure hope so. The more and more we see things opening now, like there's different spots in Mexico that are opening. There's the Dominican Republic is opening. Jamaica is starting to open, but they have a lot of rules on how to, what you have to do to get there. So yeah, as all these things come back, there are definitely going to be more clients that want to go. There's always going to be the clients that, want to wait for the vaccine to come out, before they travel, or, wait until you don't have to wear a mask on vacation, so those people won't travel, and that's fine. Those aren't the clients I want right now. But the ones that are like, yeah, I just need to get out of here. I need to go see some sunshine. Those are the ones that are coming back now. And, as we get more places opening up, there will definitely be more and more people. Hopefully, anyway.
How difficult is it to deal with like all of these people at once? Who like, is it difficult to try to go back and forth between everyone?
Sometimes it is, especially if it's a client, like clients who have the same name. Like if I have two clients like called Amanda and they're traveling around the same time or going to the same place, then it gets a little bit, okay, which one am I talking to here? You have to stop and think before you talk to the people. Usually, most of my communication with people are either through text messages or email. So you usually have a few minutes to stop and think and respond to them and make sure that you're responding to the right person. So it's, you don't get too confused that way. But it's definitely a very, you have to stay organized and keep things. Like I have a binder here that has all my clients in it, and I have pages and pages of all my clients, and each client has their own page so for each trip that they go on, and all their information on that trip is on there. So if somebody emails me, that's what I go to. I open up that binder and find their trip, and okay, this is all about them. Okay, and then I talk to them, and whatever changes they want to make or whatever else they're looking for, I put it right on that page so that the next time I talk to them, it's right there for me.
How much time does it normally take to figure out plans for someone's trip?
So it depends on the client. Some of them, they'll come to you right away and they'll be like, I want this, 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 and this. And you're like, okay, here you go. And that can take an hour. Most clients, it's going to take a good 2 weeks of going back and forth with them, before they're actually going to book a vacation. And 2 weeks is really a low estimate. Sometimes it takes months to find the right trip for somebody, mainly because they're not ready to commit to anything. Sometimes they're like, I would really love to go to Disney, but the price is so high. And, you just have to find the right time in their life and, in the price market to hit them with the right price, and then they're ready to go. But usually 2 weeks to get them booked is a good estimate.
What's like the average for the time that people pick to be on their trips?
So most trips are 5 to 7 days usually. Some people just go for long weekends to places, but 5 to 7 days is about right.
You mentioned how you have two school-age children. How did their school district handle that?
So they were going to the public school before all this started. And then the public school didn't quite seem to have their act together enough. Back in August, they were still trying to decide if they were going, fully cyber, or if they were going hybrid, or how they were doing it. So my kids actually, we pulled them out, and they're going to an online charter school right now. And everything is online for them. Some of their classes, actually all of their classes, they have a 1 hour block once a week where the teacher's teaching, but they don't have to be at that if they don't need that. They get their list of assignments, and if they can go and do the assignments and the quizzes and stuff without going to those classes, then just by reading the material and stuff, then they can do that. So it's totally changed their lives. They don't get to see their friends. My youngest daughter, her best friend happened to pick the same school as her, so they are in the same classes. But my oldest daughter doesn't have any friends at the school. So it's totally changed. The local public school, though, is going hybrid at the beginning of November. So we're going to see how that goes and see when they get back to full school if my kids will change there. But they're probably staying cyber school for the whole year, which is a little crazy, but we'll see how it goes.
With your town, like how have they been handling the pandemic then?
The town's done a good job. We don't have too many restrictions right now. I'm afraid that they're going to come back because a lot of our rates are going up. The positive tests are, increasing for the COVID. So I have a feeling they're going to start trying to shut people down, a lot of the restaurants and things like that. But as of right now, most things are open and you can do most things. The restaurants are still, they're trying to stay outside as much as they can, but some of them do have inside seating. I haven't been to any of the inside seating lately. I was only at an open air restaurant a couple of times back in the summer, but everybody seems to be doing okay.
You also mentioned how you get to travel to some of the places for research. What do you think is your favorite place or your favorite places that you've been able to go to?
So most of my trips have been shut down. I was supposed to be in Mexico last week. I unfortunately had to cancel that for some personal things. And then I was supposed to be in Beaches, Turks and Caicos, which is an island down in the Caribbean, back in April, and that got canceled. So really the only two places that I've been so far, because I've only been doing this for a year and a half, I've been to Disney World and I've been to Disneyland, and they're both awesome. In my opinion, I love Disney, so really only the Disneyland trip was strictly work. I went out there and I actually had training where I had to, we were in a classroom for a few hours a day. And then we had tours of hotels and the rides and things like that. The Disney World trips were with my family. And I got, some perks for being a travel agent while I was there. But mostly they were family trips. But when I'm there, I'm taking pictures so that I have things that I can market to my clients when I come back. And, I'm taking videos so that they can see how awesome things are and how fun things are. And then I'm also taking pictures of like all the safety regulations and stuff that are going on now so that my clients can see that Disney, and actually I was at Universal also in August, and, see what they're doing to keep everybody safe, whether it's face masks or hand sanitizer or social distancing. Like each one of the parks had something to offer. So I, have to take all that information and come home and share it with my clients. So.
Is there anything else you want to add about the pandemic and how it's affecting your career and everything?
Just that it's been hard, our industry basically shut down for a good 4 months where no one could go anywhere for leisurely vacations. I'm really glad to see that it's coming back. I think it'll help a lot when we can start having cruises again, because the cruise lines seem to be a big interest to a lot of people. So I feel like once they figure out a way so that people can go on cruise ships and still be safe, I think that's when the whole travel industry will take a deep breath and people will start traveling again. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's going to happen until at least 2021, or even later. So we'll see.
So the last question I have is if you have any advice for the for the for the for the middle school students.
Basically, work hard at having fun, really. There's a lot of pressure on you guys to, do well in school or do well in sports or, do well in the play or whatever you're doing. Just make sure you find something that you're having fun with and enjoying and put your heart into it. When I was in middle school, all I wanted to do was play sports. And, that has nothing to do with my career now, So your life isn't set in middle school, but use middle school and high school to figure out what you want to do and enjoy it though.
That's all the questions I have then. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Are you interested in being a travel agent?
I want to be a